Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Tea with Jay Dee. I'm catching up on a couple of videos and a couple of stuff that I wanted to do. I will be doing tags probably next week. I'm doing a couple of things this week, but I'll talk about that in another video. This video is about Author's Answers. Author's Answers is a series by Jay Dee Archer, fellow booktuber, fellow writer. Cheers, Jay Dee. He's done a crap ton of questions on his blog, and now he's doing video. Well, now he's been doing for the last year and a half video versions of those answers, and I'm joining in on the fun because these questions are great. What is today's question? It is, how difficult do you find it to write characters who have vastly different beliefs than you? Actually, don't find it that hard. Let me explain. First off, here's the thing. No, I wasn't gonna say it, but I said it anyways, and that was just it. First off, I studied psychology in college. When I say that I studied psychology, that means that I studied 3 years of psychology. Actually, finally got a scholarship, but I had switched colleges and studied psychology, advertising, and marketing. Psychology is near and dear to me. I think it is very important. I think more people should have a therapist, and I think more people should study psychology to have more of an analytical perspective in regards to life and people. I like writing because it allows me to explore not only the story but the psyche of different people and what makes a person tick. I love that. I am fascinated by exploring that and different things. It could be age. It could be someone has some limitations, some frustrations. We live a lot, and if you're honest with yourself and your emotions, you run a very varied array of emotions throughout your life. Taking some of those elements and applying it to a character and taking not the full seed, not the full emotion, but an aspect of it and letting it grow in a character, that's what fascinates me. I write male characters, female characters, young and old, jaded, cynical, hopeful, suicidal, homicidal. And all of that is also exploring how those emotions and how those things occur within me. And I find it fascinating. Part of what I want to write because I want to be a successful writer, sure. But I also want to write because I want to capture fascinating stories, sure as well. Yet another reason of why I want to write is because I want to explore different facets of me through the characters that I get to meet and the stories that we have to tell. It's a fascinating process, and it gets to a point where if I get to know these characters, I interview them, I have conversations with them, it gets to the point where I'm writing something and it almost feels as if the character within me says, that's not what I would say, which is an insane thing to think, but a handy thing to have when you're writing a novel. Good or bad, I find it important to explore different things of my characters. And even the villains have something about me in them. At least one element. Because if not, how can you understand them? Or it would be paper thin or flat. People want to seem noble in everything that they do. You know, I'm wonderful. I don't do anything wrong. I don't have bad emotions. I feel wonderful about myself all the time. And that's not a reality. We have varying emotions and a lot of stuff goes through the head. How we process that, how we get to know ourselves without judging ourselves or judging other people. One of the biggest lessons in my life has been to judge less. And the less I judge, the more I get to know people, the real people. Because they see that they're not being judged and they show you the real you. That's a beautiful thing. Warts and all. Depression and all. Anxiety and all. shortcomings and all, illnesses and all. No judgment. It's hard. I don't always succeed. Judging is a very human thing to do. But the less I do it, the richer my life experience. And the same thing goes with characters. If I have something within me that's not a pretty thing, I let it go. And I let the character live it. Some characters live vicariously for me. I've mentioned it before. I quit smoking, and part of the reason why I've been able to be so effective in staying off cigarettes is thanks to a character in one of my novels. Liam Dallery was actually a big reason why I've been able to stay off cigarettes. He smokes for me. I live vicariously through him, and I live vicariously through all my characters. You might get the impression that I am X or Y way, but the thing is that every day I can be a bit different. Hormones impact me. If I'm hydrated, if whatever I ate, whatever happened in life, there's different versions of ourselves, and characters take slices of those different versions and they grow into a full character. That's how I explore it. How about you? If you're a writer, how do you tackle writing characters that are vastly different from you? You know, I like exploring it just to try to understand people. And a good example would be politics. Politics suck. But if you try to listen to people and listen to their reasoning and enter into a conversation, no judgment, you can get to know them, know where they're coming from, and practice true empathy. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this question. It's a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. So until next time, peace, love, and maki rebels.